We have an update from one of our sponsors, the VegasNearMe app. They are constantly working to add more information. We tell you that all the time. The app is free. We also tell you that. But gosh, when we get these updates, it really is incredible how much information is inside.
Yeah, VegasNearMe has recently partnered with Vegas.com to get you the best prices on show tickets. In fact, they have over 1,000 shows listed inside the app.
And also, we know sometimes you need a quick break or a familiar go-to when you're in Las Vegas. And they do have more than 1,400 chain restaurants and stores listed in there. They have more than 8,000 individual locations, so you can find them. We're talking Walgreens, Starbucks, fast food, you name it.
And we all love to save money, don't we? Well, Vegas Near Me is going to help with that too. Right now, they're offering 50% off of shows at Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club, plus a $99 bottle package at Crazy Horse 3 for up to 4 people, including transportation.
Yeah, that's a good deal. And there's lots of other deals in there too. So get in and look around. Vegas Near Me is free. You don't have to put in your email. Download it in the Google or Apple App Store. Hours, locations, even the length of shows are in there. It's really good. You can even find live music, kid-friendly activities, maps of inside the hotels and casinos. It really is a lot of information in your hand.
It is. Vegas Near Me. Download it today.
It's episode 223 of Vegas Revealed. Dead & Company wows at the Sphere. The group just added more shows. We also have some things to do if you're coming in and you're a deadhead.
There are changes to the parking policy over at Resorts World. We explain what's going to be a little different.
And we chat with Jason Derulo as he kicks off his new Las Vegas residency.
It's super fun. There's nothing like creating something from nothing and, walking into this room. Usually you start a show from zero, but I feel like I was starting the show from 75 because the room is just so beautiful and the room is alive.
All that and more this week on Vegas Revealed.
Vegas Revealed, presented by Level Up Law, starts now.
Welcome, everyone, to Vegas Revealed, episode 223. Dana Roselli and Sean McAllister here, moving right along in 2024. I think it's safe to say, Sean, summer is officially here in Vegas terms because we hit 100 today.
We did, and I've been wondering when we were going to hit this milestone, but it is here, and I've got the misters all set up on the back patio so that it's bearable to be outside, and we're in for a nice warm summer.
Oh, you're ready for a big old air conditioning bill, aren't you?
It's been running so much. I'm dreading that bill.
And we're just at 100. Wait till it hits 110.
God, in 20.
I know. It is the worst when it comes to electricity bills. So anyway, we're moving right along, though, and summer is in full swing. We've got all our summer activities kicking up on the Strip. The pools are packed. We love it. Something I wanted to hit right at the top of this show is something people have been talking about on social media, and that's the changes to Resorts World parking fees and tiers and all that kind of thing. So we wanted to get some answers, went right to Resorts World, and we got it all laid out for you. So here's what you need to know.
Yeah, so just to give you a little background, up until this point, if you were a member of Genting Rewards and you downloaded the Resorts World app, you automatically received free parking. You've got a QR code when you pull in and pull out. You just scan it. You get in and out of the garage. Well, there's a little bit of a change now.
Right. So you have to be elite tier in order to get the all free parking now. Okay. So anything under that doesn't count. Where it used to be, it didn't matter what tier you were.
And just to give you some perspective, elite tier is like one up from the entry level tier.
Yeah, so it's not too bad.
It's not too bad.
However, I'm not a big gambler. I go on the property to do entertainment and restaurants and shopping. So for me, it is hard to get up to that status.
Yes, I agree. Even though I do go to, restaurants, whatever, when I'm over there, and you still can get points for doing that.
Right.
You have to be like a regular, a regular patron.
Right. So anyway, we love Resorts World. We're bummed about this because we've talked about on the podcast before how the free parking with the app is so amazing. You just
love
turn on
that.
your code. So we were bummed, but we reached out to Resorts World and they said, hey, here's the deal. We are still going to have 3 hours of free parking for all guests. And that kicks up Monday, June 3rd. So I'm so relieved to hear that.
Yes. I mean, because you can get, for the most part, visits to casinos if you're popping in for a show, for a dinner, whatever. You can do that within the 3 hour span.
I think so. Yeah.
Generally.
Most times. Right. And then somebody said, well, the walk from the parking garage is that far, 3 hours. And I'm like, I don't know what garage you're parking at, but the one that we park at is like literally you go down the elevator and you're in the casino. It's amazing.
Yeah, it lets you out like right in front of the Resorts World Theater. Now, I know that there is another parking garage, but I never parked there.
Me either.
I've only parked there once, and that was like before Resorts World even opened when we went over for like a property tour.
Yeah.
And all the rest of the time, I go to the other one.
I know.
It's
We're
so
like,
much easier.
We're looking at each other like, what's the name of it? I don't know what garage the name is, but it's right there
Well,
in the back along the road.
There's one off of Gotong Way, and there's one off of Genting Drive or Resorts World Drive.
Maybe Resorts World Drive. I think it is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. We're not being very helpful.
Well,
We could stop and start over. And like, this just came out of nowhere where we got into the parking garage location thing. So listen, don't go to the one that is along the road that is more swervy.
and definitely do not get directions from us either.
And connects to Dean Martin.
No, you want to
go to the one along Dean Martin. Is it Dean Martin or Frank Sinatra?
Well, I think
or
over there.
Sammy Davis?
I think it's Sammy Davis over there, or Industrial. I don't know.
I love that we have Dean Martin, Sammy Davis, and Frank Sinatra.
Oh, the Rat Pack.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my! This is the most unhelpful, horrible conversation ever.
But when you go up the main drive to Resorts World, if you're turning off the Las Vegas Strip and you turn on the main driveway, that's where you're going to find the good parking garage.
Now I'm getting on my map. Resorts World Drive.
Resorts World Drive. Okay,
Yes.
that's what I thought.
That's what you were right. Okay. And then you'd think I used to.
Gotong Way is the other one, isn't it?
Gotong Way is like yes, it's the swerve into the
swervy one that kind of goes behind Resorts World, between Resorts World and
Genting,
Fashion Show.
Genting goes to Gotong. I think we're just going to leave this in because it's the most ridiculous conversation. And I hope that everyone at home is not like, these people are wasting my time. This is funny. Because this is literally cracking me up. Okay. So off Las Vegas Boulevard, you turn right on Genting, and there is the parking garage that's attached to Genting and Gotong. Don't park there. Park over at the one on Resorts World Drive that attaches to Sammy Davis Drive Jr.
So basically, we had everything covered.
Listen, I did traffic on television for a very long period of time, but these roads didn't exist back then.
They didn't. And you were always looking down with a bird's eye view
True.
from the helicopter.
Okay, you're right. There. Excuse. Okay, yes.
Okay, we weren't really going to go this long
No.
on the Resorts World
we need to
parking,
move
but
on.
gosh, here we are.
I know. Here we are. Listen, as part of Resorts World's commitment to enrich the guest experience, they say they are offering all guests complimentary parking for up to 3 hours beginning Monday, June 3rd. You don't have to be a local. It's all guests, locals, visitors, you name it. They do also have valet options ranging from $25 to $75. Also, after the free parking is up, just so you know, standard parking rates will apply, and that's at $18 per entry.
All right.
Whew.
Got it. Grateful Dead and Company have been having a very successful residency over at Sphere Las Vegas. And there have been a ton of Deadheads filling Las Vegas. And we came across some activities that some Deadheads might want to go and take advantage of before the show.
Yeah, I would love to say that. I just feel like this show is bringing so many people together. people are coming into town, meeting up with other, Dead and Company fans. And then others that I've seen, like their husband or their boyfriend or someone's like, hey, we're going to go. And then they're like, wow, this show was amazing. I'm officially a fan. But just also the Sphere and the show and what they put on the screens and the whole experience has made me a fan. So I love it that it's just old fans, new fans, longtime followers, and everyone's coming together and enjoying this experience so much that they had to add shows. So that's cool. So because of that, like Sean said, there are some things that maybe those groups of people want to get together and do.
Yeah, including Shakedown Street. This is over at Tuscany Suites and Casino. It's happening every single show day that Dead and Company have a show over at the Sphere. From 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., they have vendors, exhibits, live music. It's basically kind of like a little street festival that Tuscany is putting on for all the Deadheads.
This is so cool. And you and I did a podcast earlier, and we're mentioning that Tuscany's really stepping it up because they're realizing it's in just perfect walking distance to the Sphere.
Exactly. So you cross Flamingo Road from the Tuscany. This I know.
Okay.
From the Tuscany, you cross Flamingo Road and go into the Hughes Corporate Center right across the street, and that leads you right over to the Sphere where you enter. And go to the show and have a great time.
I know. And maybe you stay at the Tuscany too. It's a great option. You wake up, you roll outside, get some breakfast, dip in the pool. 11 a.m. you're at the street festival. And you don't even have to get in your car.
It's
then
great.
You walk to the Sphere. And this is what the Deadheads need, because a lot of the times they're on some stuff. For example, they might want to stop by the Garcia Green Room at Smoke and Mirrors to enjoy a limited edition Garcia hand-picked pre-roll prior to the show as well.
And Smoke and Mirrors is really one of the first consumption lounges, cannabis consumption lounges that have opened here in Las Vegas. And so, they're jumping on this Dead bandwagon too.
Yeah. And I was just looking at the website. They've also got mocktails over there and different types of infused drinks. We've talked about this before. But anyway, they're doing this special pre-roll. The Garcia handpicked over there. So that could be fun. And they do say, do not go out on the strip or walk the streets smoking the stuff. Do it at the Smoke and Mirrors.
Enjoy your pre-roll at the consumption lounge. I feel like some people might think we had some pre-rolls before we recorded this.
Seriously, they really might. No, we had coconut cake instead. Anyway.
The Tom Cruise cake.
Oh my God. That's a whole nother thing. Okay, let's keep on Dead Forever. Dead Forever, the experience is open over at the Venetian. It is free. It's open to the public. That's another activity that you might want to do if you're in to see Dead and Company over at the Sphere. This is a really cool experience. You and I went to Jason Derulo, which we're going to get to in a little bit, but on the way in, we passed the little bears too in the Palazzo Atrium.
Yeah, they
have
colored. They're all, different colored happy face bears that are smiling and waving at you right in front of that big waterfall in the atrium.
And that's kind of like the Grateful Dead, like kind of their theme, right?
Yeah,
their logo,
like their little mascots.
Their little mascots. That's it. The colored bears.
And they're super cute.
They are. So they're doing a lot of different things that people are taking in and enjoying. And hey, that Dead Forever experience at the Venetian, again, is free, open to the public. So take advantage. Listen, go into this festival, the Shakedown Street thing. Go hang out. There's a lot of things to do, and then hit the show. We're noticing the show's pretty early, too, like 7:30.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's not early, but,
Well, what I will say is after we got, and we're about to talk about Jason Derulo, but I'll just keep mentioning until we actually talk about him. When we got out of that show, it was pretty late. It was, I don't know, like 12:30-ish.
Yeah.
Around there.
Yeah.
And there were still a lot of people who were walking around the Venetian Palazzo with their Grateful Dead t-shirts on who had probably been to the show and then, were filtering out. So I think people are taking full advantage of all the experiences that surround the show too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think this is such an example of like everything is not for everyone. I was like Dead and Company. I had to do some research so that we would know what we were talking about. But I was like, okay, John Mayer and then former members of the Grateful Dead. Okay, I get it. But then it sold really well. Now they're adding shows. But even watching some of the video and seeing some of the reactions from people, I'm kind of like, I'd go see that now. And I had really no idea what it was all about. And then showing them, seeing all the people in town for this show and loving it, I'm like, okay, see, something doesn't have to be for everyone.
Exactly.
It needs to be for a large amount of people who love it. Spread the word, bring others into it. They spread the word. That's what it's all about. And these guys are huge.
Well, and like you were mentioning before, it brings people together, fans from, I have a buddy from college who loves the Dead. Mm-hmm. And as soon as these shows were announced, he posted on Facebook, he was like, okay, who's coming with me to Vegas? And people started chiming in, our college friends who've dispersed all over the country. They're like, I'll meet you there. Right. Let's go. Mm-hmm. So it's bringing these groups of people together again who maybe haven't seen each other in decades. And it is an experience. And by the way, those added shows are coming up in August 1st through the 10th. That brings the number of shows that Dead and Company are doing over at Sphere to 30. 30 shows.
It's a lot.
That is. I like seeing that.
I know. I do too. I'm telling you, some of those images I see online, I'm like, this is cool. Really cool. So glad to hear it. Also at the Venetian, like we had mentioned, we went over to see Jason Derulo, and he just kicked off a new show at Voltaire. He's going to be there all summer. He's got dates in June, July, August. Jason is doing a really intimate show because he's used to doing arenas and stuff.
Yeah, he just got off an international arena tour and then came back to the States, came back home, put together this show specifically designed for Voltaire. It's unlike any other shows that he has done in his professional career. And when we went over and talked to him, he said he's really excited about this.
Jason, listen, welcome to Las Vegas.
Thank you very much.
This is like your first residency here.
Yes.
The timing's right. It feels good.
Oh, it feels incredible. It's unbelievable. It's a lot of hours, but it's super fun. There's nothing like creating something from nothing and, walking into this room. Usually you start a show from zero, but I feel like I was starting the show from 75 because the room is just so beautiful and the room is alive, so I wanted to have this 360 perspective because everywhere you turn in this place is beautiful. So I wanted to utilize every inch. There's a lot of moving parts, but we are literally crawling with you on these couches, on these bars and everywhere.
Mm-hmm. And obviously you're developing your own show with your own spin on things, but are there headliners from Vegas past that you're pulling from? Because this is kind of an iconic moment.
Yes, I think, to put a show on like this, I mean, it's impossible not to utilize the essence of Vegas. Mm-hmm. I think it was important for me to dive into the culture of what Vegas has always been, and then also add my new spice. Because at one point I felt like I was like, oh, am I going a little too Vegas? So I had to dial it back a little bit because I wanted to make sure that I'm bringing Jason Derulo to Vegas, but at the same time creating a totally different experience that people have never seen from me. So even if you've seen me before, this is an entirely different way to see me.
And this is such an intimate room, first of all. I mean, that's got to be a little different for you. You just got off an arena tour. And,
So the arena tour is, 15, 20,000 people, and this is a totally different kind of experience. So I wanted to make sure that it felt different as well. I'm not going to bring an arena show in here because it's a different experience, right? So being that I can see everybody's faces and they can see mine, and I can literally touch so many people in the room, I want that to be a literal thing and a something that people will go home with and be like, literally, Jason was like right there in my face, you know. And I have those special moments in my arena tour, but the entire show feels like that.
Yeah.
Well, and given the fact that you are up close and personal with your audience and you can see people, you don't want people walking in shorts and flip-flops off the street, right?
I know.
Tell me, what do you want your audience to look like when they show up for this show?
You know what? I mean, whatever you feel comfortable in, I'm personally good with. But I think you should know the vibe that I'm going for, so that you can kind of match. We're doing suits and ties. We're doing streetwear as well. So like whatever you feel comfortable in. I don't want people to feel like if I don't have like a suit, I'm not going. No, it's not like that. But it is a very, it does feel like an upscale night. So whatever you feel like you look good in, I want you to feel good when you walk in. So whatever that is to you.
But it's an occasion.
You 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
You look at the walls and you're just like, you know, it's an occasion.
It's an occasion. Do you visit Vegas a lot? Is this some place that you've come to, party, family, anything? Over the years?
Over the years. I mean, it's hard not to come to Vegas. I think Vegas has to be one of the most places I frequent in America.
Do you expect to explore kind of the more family side of Las Vegas now that you're going to be spending a good chunk of time out here?
I think I'm gonna need some tips because I don't even know that side. You know what I'm
We've
saying?
got a list for you.
I'm a new daddy, so I need to tell me the vibes, please.
Yeah, you know, my mom does Zumba class, and I said, I'm going to interview Jason Derulo, and she was like, oh, we do Zumba to spicy margarita.
Oh, amazing. That's incredible.
So you're going to hit all the age points.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, tell your mother I said hello, and please, she has a special invite by me. Please have her come.
Yeah, that was really funny. I sent the clip to my mother, and now in the Zumba group chat, it's a whole thing. They watch it over and over, and they're so excited. It's like they feel like they were all mentioned.
I love that there's a group chat.
There is Zumba group chat. What time you getting there? What are we wearing today? It's a Halloween theme. There's all sorts of different
there's
discussions.
themes?
There's themes around the holidays.
Oh my gosh, they're going to need to do a special spicy margarita themed Zumba class.
I know.
Come in their favorite spicy outfit.
Oh my gosh. We went to the show and saw it, and I had a blast. I thought it was really good that he, first of all, did all the hits. And when I say hits, if you're kind of like, I know Jason Derulo, but you know every one of his songs.
All of them.
Especially if you listen to pop radio, R&B, anything. So I wrote down some of the most like popular ones, but there's the Wiggle.
Yeah.
You know?
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Right.
Do, 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 do.
Talk dirty. Talk dirty to me. In my head. That one. What you say? What you say?
Oh yeah. See, even when you say the names, like I
know,
but I
hey,
know
what
them.
you say. I know. Listen, the music's copyrighted, so we can't play it here. So we got to
Right.
sing it for you.
And then he's got the Jason Derulo has done so many collaborations with so many other artists too.
Yeah.
So you have 100%. I put on the I just typed Jason Derulo into my Spotify and just started playing all the music, and I was like, "Oh my god, I know this one." And that all of them, every single one.
It was great. I discovered his song with Meghan Trainor during that show, which I
so
hadn't
fun.
heard before. And I looked it up. It didn't come out too long ago. So it's
Right.
newer. And I was like, I love this song. I love what he did with it. It almost sounds like an oldies, but he's got some good stuff out there. So look Jason up. Come to see his show because the dancers are great. He does a little bit of, like he said, it's like a little throwback to Vegas, but keeps, his current stuff. It was fun. And that room is great.
It is. I mean, it's like being at a nightclub and seeing a headliner performing literally right in front of you. He walked, right by the
Yep.
booth where we were sitting, and it's a fun show.
They spread it out real nice too, though, and I felt like the only difference between like sometimes in a nightclub you kind of feel like all moshed together.
Right.
I thought the spacing is really well done in there. There's a lot of people. Some are sitting, some are standing, but it didn't feel like you couldn't move.
It did not.
I liked that.
No. And by the way, the spicy margaritas that they serve there over at Voltaire are really good.
Oh, good to know.
I had a couple.
Who was there when we were there? There was a celebrity.
T-Pain.
T-Pain.
And Tiny.
Yeah.
Were there.
T-Pain and Tiny. And then, of course, the twins, the famous twin dancers.
Les Twins.
Les Twins.
You might know them from being on tour with Beyonce, too.
Yep. Yeah, they are popular. All right, let's take a quick break to get a message from our title sponsor, Level Up Law.
Level Up Law is looking to help you. You might have heard about the recent lawsuits surrounding Ozempic. It's concerning, right? Unfortunately, a lot of people have been experiencing some serious issues from taking semaglutide or tirzepatides, including severe vomiting, hospitalization, pancreatic issues. The list goes on and on. If you've experienced any of this, you are not alone. And here's the thing, Level Up Law is here to help. We already have a team of lawyers researching this issue and preparing to help those who need it. Don't hesitate to reach out to our team if a doctor prescribed you these drugs and you're experiencing issues. Give us a call at 855-LEVEL-UP. That's 855-LEVEL-UP, and we will answer your questions. Remember, you're not alone. Level Up Law has got your back.
All right, Dana, you know what time it is?
Tips time.
Tip time. Recently, as part of our video production side of our business, Insightful Media, we had a video shoot over at Resorts World. It was over in the district. That's their retail and dining section of the resort. And our video location was inside Bar Zazu. And when we went inside, we were like, oh my gosh, we need to talk about this place.
Yeah, not only was it gorgeous, but we found out they have live music every night that they're open.
Yeah.
And we were
great.
like, oh, look at this cool stage, this little stage. And like, yeah, free live music. I'm like, we have to tell people about this. So it doesn't open till 5 p.m., which is why we were in there before it opened doing the actual setup for this shoot. But it's open Thursday to Monday, and it's 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. with the menu, drinks, everything like that. But the live music, and this is a long period of time, is there from 6 to 9 p.m. nightly.
That's a perfect time period, too. That's great. Like, just the tail end of happy hour, dinner time, just to pop out, hear some live music, grab a cocktail, some light bites.
All that. And they have great cocktails there. They have tapas. They have a full menu. So, I mean, I think people would really enjoy this place for live music. And just, if it's not dinner, like Sean said, maybe just a cocktail and some tapas. And
it was so funny. When we were standing and we were setting up our video equipment, and Dana was looking at one of the pictures on the wall, and she just kind of stopped in her tracks. And Dana, you looked at me, you were like, wait a minute, like, is this picture moving, or did I not drink enough water today?
I know, it was moving. I was like, what is going on here?
And it's really cool. They have really beautiful pictures up on the wall, but they come to life in such a unique way.
The colorings in there, the whole thing.
The pinks, purples, blues. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, we're going to do this on our TV show too. We got some video of inside. So we always put that up on our YouTube, or you can just look it up. But I was looking at just like some of the menu, like the main things that they have, in case people are like, well, what kind of restaurant is it? They have like the Zazu burger. They have the Chilean sea bass, roasted prime rib sandwich. So they have skirt steak, roasted bone marrow too, for two. That's one of their specials. They have pizzas, and then like I mentioned, the tapas, and they have sweets and all that kind of thing. So check it out, Bar Zazu. We were like, we have to let people know about this. It's really cool. And sometimes, places are in a place in a resort that maybe you don't walk by all the time and you don't know they're there. So FYI, we got you covered.
We do. Hey, since you are podcast listeners, we wanted to let you know about another Las Vegas-based podcast that kind of dives in to the seedy history of our city. And we're letting you know about this because it is really interesting stuff.
Yeah, and this has been launched by the Mob Museum, the National Museum of Organized Crime and Law Enforcement that we have here in town. One of our very popular museums. It's a great place, by the way. But they have launched a podcast. It's all original. It's called Inside the Life, and you can stream it across all the platforms. It's hosted by former elite undercover agents, and a bunch of the episodes, few episodes I think, are already up and posted. And so anyway, they delve into a lot of interesting topics.
Yeah, and kind of take you through the dangerous world of undercover work that these guys have done. And they bring on guests who, can offer even more color in stories and insights into what it's like to uncover the underworld of organized crime.
I can only imagine it's really interesting. I just actually subscribed, so I'm going to start listening, but I look forward to this.
I mean, that stuff is fascinating. And, when you consider the fact that organized crime and the mob really were instrumental in turning Las Vegas into what it has become today.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an important part of our city's history.
Right. And we learned a lot when we went over to the El Cortez recently, too.
Yeah.
About just, like the Fremont, the bosses of Fremont, because downtown was the original Las Vegas.
Right.
The Strip came later.
Bugsy Siegel
Yeah.
started the El Cortez.
I know. So interesting, right? There's just so much history here. We recommend that, too. Like, if you get a moment and you come into town and you're visiting, like, go do some of this stuff. Take a day, go around to some of the old spots, hit the Mob Museum, go to the old hotels. There's a lot of things on the walls. There are a lot of people that work at these places that will talk to you and tell you stories.
Yeah. Also, over at the Springs Preserve, which also has like a Nevada State Museum kind of over on the same grounds, but the Springs Preserve has recreated like the original Main Street of Las Vegas, the old train depot, the original saloons, the cottages that the railway workers lived in. They have a couple of the original cottages that have been rebuilt and constructed over there. But I say that because it does give you can walk through what Las Vegas used to look like.
Yeah, that's cool. I love that. We do have a lot of places. You just got to, take the time to do it. Because I know people get excited to come to Vegas. They want to hit the slot machines. They want to go out. But if you take the time to do, like I said, set a day or two aside to do some of this stuff, I don't think you'll regret it.
No, not at all.
Speaking of the live machine.
What were you thinking?
The Mob Museum live music.
Oh.
They just meshed together. I mean, I swear we didn't have any pre-rolls before the show. What is a pre-roll anyway? What's the pre part?
It's already rolled for you, so you don't have to roll your own cannabis cigarette.
Got it. Pre-rolled for you. Okay, I didn't know if it was like before you actually do the roll. Okay, I was confused. Anyway, the Mob Museum also has live music. I'm not going to read off the calendar, but when they sent the calendar out and we were doing the podcast about, the Mob Museum put out, I thought, let's let people know again about this. They have an underground speakeasy and distillery. The cost is free to get in. So the free entry is at the secret side door. So, visitors need to know the password, and the password is published daily on Instagram stories at mobmuseum_underground. You got to get the password in order to get in.
That's how speakeasies work.
I know.
You got to let the guy at the door know the password.
So they have like jazz age music there, a whole lineup of different people. God, and they go till late, like 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. on Fridays.
Yeah, that's how these speakeasies roll. And of course, there's a bunch of Prohibition era artifacts. There's cocktails inspired by the era too. So that's another great destination downtown.
We have a lot of great stuff in Las Vegas. We're also going to put in the interview that we did with the chairman of the El Cortez over there about all the big changes they're making. The El Cortez has been around for a very long time in downtown Las Vegas, since the 40s. And they're currently doing a $20 million reinvestment plan. And so we went over and talked to Kenny Epstein. We'll have that for you next week.
All right. Well, we have done a lot of talking this week.
We sure have.
We've gone down lots of different side paths.
We are hoping you're enjoying the show. We thank our subscribers for donating and allowing us to be able to do this and add some extra time into our very busy schedule and, taking the time to go do some of these things, let you know, do some research. I swear we'll be on better top form next week. We are sorry about this silliness today. I guess we're tired. We have actually been working really, really hard and around the clock. It's just a busy time in Las Vegas right now.
Yeah, it is.
So, also, we want to thank our sponsor of VegasNearMe, a free app that you could download easily in, the iPhone store, the App Store there, or Google Play.
And a big thank you to our presenting sponsor, Level Up Law. If you need any legal help, give them a call. The number is 855-LEVEL-UP, or you can find them at leveluplaw.com.
Have a great week, everyone.